says live, but it's not ticking down the time. Is it supposed to tick down the time?
I have I'm counting up. I'm at 10, 11,
You're
12.
counting up? I don't see
Yeah.
anything. Whatever. Hi, everyone. Slamfire Radio, episode 545 for February 28th, 2024. I'm one of your hosts, Adriel.
I'm another host, Kyle.
And our other hosts are dealing with weather-related issues, and
they're flying kites.
Flying kites, yes. In a 90-kilometer-hour wind, that's when you get the best, like, rays. The kites just go right up there.
It's where records are made.
Dreams are fulfilled in the 90-kilometer-an-hour. So Mo is either flying a kite or surfing. In Montreal, there's water around there, right? I bet you there's some waves. Yeah. Anywho, why don't we get into what we did in guns? I'll start us off. I did a PAL course last weekend. It was pretty good. Yeah, it was on Saturday. I had another instructor out there with me. First time I've met him, and it went well. He knew his stuff, I knew my stuff, and all good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more of those. The location, fantastic too. Clubhouse at a range, and the clubhouse had running water and a fire, like a fireplace.
Oh, nice.
Crackling wood, nice heat coming off that thing. Yeah. Coffee machines. They had 3 coffee machines. So the day before I went and set up my tables and that kind of thing. I'm like, oh, they got 3 coffee machines. So I prepped them up, put water, coffee in them. Showed up in the morning, plug it in, click, get one going. Start sipping some coffee off of that one. That one starts getting low. Click, start the other one. Oh, cooking with gas. And then, I just think I think it's a good idea for people who are getting their PAL to see, like, you should get a membership at an outdoor range. That should be something that you do.
Yeah.
I've been doing some dry firing with my kids, with my boys, to just kind of shake off some of the rust over the winter, get them ready for some 3-gun in the spring, because we're going to be doing that. We're going to be doing a lot of that. So
are you putting them on like a shot timer with par time, or just getting them just go through the motions?
Shot timer in the basement with a mini course.
Oh, okay.
Where they have to do something. I'm working on safety skills. So I want you to go into this position, right, left, you can't break 90. Okay, now we're going to do retreat. We're going to retreat you're going to go in there with the rifle, and then you're going to have to come back out. Don't break 90 as you do it. Here, I'll show you. And then now you do it, right?
Nice.
And that's because the shooting, like they shoot enough, I guess. So that part should be okay. It's more the safety and making sure that they can like complete the course safely, like black badge kind of stuff. But I'm obviously not a black badge instructor, and not even close to that. But yeah, so I've been doing that. This weekend, I'm going to be at the Stony Plain Gun Show, Edmonton Gun Show, Capital Region Gun Show. That's 2 days, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to be there with my youngest, and we're going to be selling his 3D prints. So he's been keeping the 3D printer busy, printing firearms-related stuff. That's not illegal. I'm not printing guns or mags or suppressors or anything like that.
Firearms-related, not firearms or... Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you added that one to the news, but
I did. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We'll talk about that later, but I have too much risk profile to be doing that kind of stuff, because if I get nailed on, oh, you printed the wrong thing with your printer, or you had the wrong file, all this stuff behind me gets seized by the cops and goes away, and my little side gigs go away, and all. Like, risk is too high. Risk is too high for me to do any of that kind of stuff. So it'll be like mag holders and that kind of stuff. What else am I? Oh, my shipment from Tenda came in, so I got a bunch of 20 gauge because my youngest is going to use 20 gauge for his 3-gun season. I think I still need to get some 12 gauge, so I'll probably have to order some more of that. And then they had some 7.62 by 39 for the cheapest you can get in Canada. So I got some. There's the opened tin right there. This is the Chinese stuff. And look at that wrapping on there.
Ooh.
Some Japanese grandma wrapped it and tied a little bow on there and everything.
Nice. Yeah. Fancy.
Just for me to buy it for pennies on the dollar and
that
blast
string
it
is
at nothing.
It's surplus ammo, and when you put that string across that that little pack, it's got to make you feel a little bit better about it.
It's craftsmanship right here.
Yeah, it's more personal then.
This doesn't, like, a lot of this stuff when I get it, it kind of has like a chemically smell. This doesn't. It doesn't have that chemically smell that I normally get with a lot of tins of this stuff. Does it have a Chinese data tag? Yes, it did, and I already had my wife decode it. So I have Chinese readers in my house. I might be illiterate, but I can squint at it, and I can use Google Translate, which I had to use on my vehicle for all sorts of stuff. So I've had the same minivan for like 13 years. It owes me nothing. I paid $7,000 for that thing 13 years ago. I sold it for $2,000 today.
Yeah,
a van that's rusty as heck. Couldn't be safetied unless you like did some work to it. I sold that thing for $2,000.
Yeah, and you almost started a bidding war on that.
There was so many people who wanted to buy that thing. The used car market's crazy right now. It's absolutely nuts. I imported a vehicle from Japan, Toyota Vanguard. It's kind of like a RAV4, but like fancy dancy. And I've been using the Google Translate on my phone for a lot of things on it because the deck is all in Japanese, and it's kind of got to like work around it. Can't change language on it. It's only comes in Japanese. Talks to you and that kind of thing. But it was a hell of a deal, especially considering used prices right now. So I will deal with all of that. And the right-hand drive, of course, you got to deal with as well, because it's the steering wheel's on the wrong side. But
it's got to be fun. Interesting.
The driving part, it's fine. You just think about it a little bit. Yeah, this is where I need to be. And yeah, it feels a little bit weird, but not too bad. I drove in Mauritius on the left-hand side, right-hand drive, left-hand side. That felt like awful. That like my entire body was screaming at me not to drive on the left-hand side of the road. Yeah. But like another seat on the same side, it's kind of fine. Mirrors are kind of hard because instead of glancing up here, I got to glance up there. So I haven't really been using my rear view mirror. Signals on the right-hand side instead of the left, but I just got to think about it. And after a week or so, I think it's just going to be second nature. So I don't think any of that's, and like safety wise, not an issue, not an issue whatsoever. Left hand turns, right hand turns, doesn't matter at all. So yeah, glad I did it. Took a shitload of time to get it in, but yeah, glad I did it because saved a pile of money. I gotta buy more PAL guns. So I brought like more guns to this than I brought more than one kit, but I want more because I want to have these courses have 12 people. I want to have 12 guns that I can bring out to these things. That people can, so that people, when we're doing the practical part, they all got a gun in front of them. They can practice with it, move them over. They practice with a different gun. So I've been looking at some bolt actions. I've been talking to some people on Gun Post about some crappy old Enfields. And if I get tired of negotiating for Enfields, I'm going to get another Swedish Mauser for the bolt. And then for semi, I don't know. I might just get a semi-auto 22, like maybe a Wildcat or something like that. Kelly's not on the show right now, so she's not here to.
Kelly's favorite gun.
Yeah, that's her favorite. She told me to get one of those for the PAL course. She's like, that's. Yeah.
Well, doesn't she loves it when people show up to Maple Seed with one of those. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll be looking at and that kind of thing, and then levers. Levers are so expensive, so that's the other tricky thing. I can't. But I did also get some snap caps and stuff like that today. Some more, and I got steel 22 LR snap caps. So these will run through a lever and not get beat up. They might even beat up the action or beat up the. I don't think they'll beat up the chamber. They're not sharp enough, but I think they're going to take the damage. So I think that'll be fine. And like, there's no firing. The firing pin can't hit the thing on all the disabled guns I have, so I won't have to worry about like steel on steel action there.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be fine. So maybe I'll get a lever 22. That'll save some time, save some money. Yeah.
And if I was up there, I'd have one to hand to you.
Oh. A cheap one?
Yeah,
one that's going to be abused.
Let's see. I bought it back 2011 for like $150.
Heck of a deal, but that was 2011.
Yeah.
Yep. Tony's saying print them. Nah, they get abused and they get ratched right up. I actually had some dummies that I made that were like FMJ crimped to hell, and they got beat up really. My buddy of mine told me that they get beat up, and yet they get beat up. So you need to run snap caps, something that's like a steel monolithic, because they just get used too much. Every student, as soon as they get to the gun, they're loading and unloading those 2 rounds, right? So 2 rounds, 12 students. So let's say that they reload it twice on that gun, and let's say that they use each gun, I don't know, like a time and a half. That means that they're getting loaded and unloaded, I don't know, 30 to 50 times a day, kind of a thing, with that same ammo. So like I have dummy ammo that I practice with for 3-gun and that kind of thing. I don't think I've ever used my shells more than like 50 times in a day, any single shell. So I think
you checked out, like, I think it's like Azoom or whatever. There's like those blue, I think they're aluminum snap caps.
The 22s?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hit them though with the firing pin. I was using those for my boys for dry fire on the 22 handgun, and now they're all beat to shit, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because the firing pin, like they're aluminum and they get mashed right up. But yeah, I have some Azoom. Here's an Azoom 9mm. Yep. And I have some more coming in the mail, some 12 gauge and 20 gauge, and I can't hear. Oh, I completely forgot. I got a Nanook 995, like the big monster one. Because again, a buddy of mine that Dave, he's come on the show a couple of times. He fits 5 or 6 guns in his just in per. Yeah, because there's like a layer of foam, so you put like 3 guns on the bottom, layer of foam, 3 guns on top, close it up. There's one kit, right? Okay, you have 10 students, 12 students, run 2 kits, done. So instead of having a million cases, you just have 1 or 2 cases on wheels. Right. You roll them in there and you're done. So I will be I'll be doing that. I'll be doing that for the next one. But it for me. How about you, Kyle?
Well, I got back to town early Sunday morning, and I guess right off the bat, I'd like to apologize to the listeners for my crappy audio last week. I had banked on having crappy internet at the hotel, so I didn't bring a headset. And yeah, so I will not make that mistake again. I will just bring a headset, and if I have crappy internet, I have crappy internet. But if I have good internet, at least I'll have half decent sound. But yeah, anyways, listener had actually reached out to me. I guess their range, I think it's in Manitoba. They're coming up where the CFO wants them to build baffles, or they have to relocate. They were looking at the prices; it was so expensive. But yeah, reached out to me, asking about my experience with Wapiti. So I sent them the drawings and designs I did for Wapiti, and they were going to present them to the board. And yeah, so it was kind of
tell them to ask Chaz too, because Chaz had to do some noise abatement, and they're happy to share what they did.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I'm actually just waiting to hear back. I emailed them to follow up because they were going to give the designs to the board and see what they thought, because it was not baffles, if you recall. It was basically just a box and a wall in front of the shooting window. But so a little cheaper option than the baffles. So I'm kind of interested to see, and it was a unique opportunity to share an experience that I had in the past and help out another club. Starting to ramp up my dry fire, because I'm like 2.5 weeks away from Superstition Mountain. So yeah, starting to ramp up the dry fire. I want to hit the range. Well, I got to hit the range, because I got to spend some more time on long range, work on getting down into position and on target. And I want to do some shots out to at least 500. So I will find some time to do that. in the next week.
Bring some barriers so that you can practice different height kneeling positions.
Yeah,
because that makes such a big difference on those long range stages.
Yeah, what I might actually, it's a good point, and what I might actually end up doing is I'll just do some construction, because I know we have pretty much all the materials to do it, but to build a couple of VTECs, it was basically what I've been wanting to do anyways. With starting the 3-gun there, was build a couple of VTECs, so I might end up just doing that. Russ make a comment, no sky. Yeah. I think that's the issue. Yeah, basically eliminate the possibility of a round leaving the range. So that's how we had built the wall before, was we actually took into account the ground too, so you couldn't see ground or sky from the shooting bench. And I think if they're asking to put baffles in, that's probably, no sky is what they're having to deal with.
I completely misunderstood. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
I thought it was a sound thing, not a not a round thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a round thing.
Got it. Sorry. No. Yeah. Strike my comments from the record.
But also just in my daily drive around for work, I'm just trying to mentally prepare for Superstition as well. Try and run through my mind on what a smooth stage feels like, and also mental setup, trying to do what I can when I can. And I think the mental side is definitely key. The stages aren't out yet, but still get into that competition mindset to smoothly but push it through a stage and already get into that mindset. But yeah, I got back and visited with a couple friends from our shooting club, and they were just up in Roswell and Lalouse over the weekend. And I guess talking with other clubs, I don't know if you recall last week, I was kind of talking about what we were discussing with USPSA and basically doing the bare minimum and looking for basically options outside of USPSA, because it turns out that Roswell, Lalouse, these clubs, they've had that discussion too, and they're doing it. So
what are you guys moving to?
Either just use USPSA rules, but not sending them money by running a classifier every match. So basically running, one person said, just to minimize the money you're sending to USPSA, running 2 matches with 2 classifiers each, and then you've met your minimum. And I guess that's it's $5 a shooter for a classifier, but if you run a second one in a match, it's $1 a shooter.
Mm-hmm.
But if you run an all classifier, it's $5 a shooter for every classifier you run in that match. So it was just encouraging to hear that there are other clubs that are saying, yeah, screw this, we're not happy. So I know their weekend of Superstition, there's a club up by Albuquerque that's going to be running their first PCSL match. So there'll be a good number of us at Superstition, so I won't make that one, but PCSL is making its way into New Mexico, which is cool to see. I know I've been kind of wanting to do that. And I have reached out to Max Leograndis, the guy who basically started PCSL, to come on the show, but they're in the middle of revamping the rules. They're putting in multi-gun rules, putting more single gun and 2-gun rules in there. So they're completely adapting their rule book for more encompassing. So he didn't want to come on until that was out. So he's thinking probably June we'll have him on and we'll have a whole huge update from PCSL at that time, because they'll have the fresh new rule book out. And but it's interesting. If you want, go check out PCSL's website. You could run their stuff as is. I mean, you don't need the affiliation, but coming up we will have Max on to go more into depth on that. Richard's asking, will you be Canadian about it and run 5-round mags? Absolutely not. I will be running probably about 42, 43 rounds in my rifle mag to start, and then I'll have probably 32, 33 in my backup mag. So, yeah, no, absolutely not. My mags are chocked full, downloaded 1 or 2 rounds. Tony, that's too bad. I thought USPSA is cooler than IPSC. Yes and no. IPSC treats itself as a there's so many things going on there. Like, they're actually in court for misappropriation of funds, I guess, and it's just, I mean, anytime you get an organization, it's tough to have an you would think it'd be easy, but I guess once it builds to a certain level, I don't know how to put it, because I don't see a reason for it, but
I'm not involved, but could I guess corruption? Once you're dealing with a certain amount of money, like corruption and or incompetence sets in.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say, like, absolutely. I mean, I've mentioned it a number of times with the classifiers. We are not an isolated incident on this. Mm-hmm. Now we do have a new section coordinator for New Mexico, and guys were talking, and they're trying to supposedly sort things out, but unless like HQ actually does something. Yeah, but no, incompetence seems to be incompetence, and then just not caring about your membership. Like, if you look at some of the section coordinators, like it's bad. Like, if you really start digging into it, I'm sure Ben Stoger's got a whole pile on it.
Oh yeah, he's got a couple. Yeah,
and just it's bad. I would take IPSC Canada over USPSA right now, because yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, most of the people in IPSC Canada that I've met have been really good people.
Well,
yeah, I don't know if it's always.
And
been
then
like
when
that,
you're
mm-hmm.
I stand to be corrected, but when you do your classifiers, like, biggest thing is, like, most of the, like, when you're in Alberta, you don't really have level 1 matches. Everything's a level 2 or higher. So your match performance gets taken as your classification. We're all running level 1 matches, so the only time we get classified is if we run a classifier stage. We don't get classified based on our match performance on a level 1 match. So that comes into it. But I believe Alberta, and I stand to be corrected, it seems like IPSC in Canada is your province, and kind of take care of your province. And then if you go to another because if you go to another province, you have to prove your membership in your province to go shoot. Like, if I remember going to shoot BC or something, I had to prove my Alberta membership. And vice versa, when people were coming to shoot provincials or whatever, they had to prove their province's membership in order to shoot that match. Which, that's what leads me to believe that the provinces manage the provinces. This USPSA, everything goes to HQ, and eventually they'll get around to you. So, yeah, Richard, they care more about money and perceived power than why they're actually there for the members and for the sport. Absolutely, 100%. And I mean,
sometimes with centralization, you get economies of scale, and sometimes with centralization, you get stagnation. Yeah, and I think what you're talking about is stagnation rather than those economies of scale, because you don't actually need the scale. You need a good rule book, but you don't need a big organization to get a good rule book.
Well, USPSA is funny because their rule book, there are some significant rules. Like, they're supposed to be like the IPSC arm of the US. But their rules, it's funny. Their rules are, and some key rules like mag capacity and what guns and holsters are allowed in stuff like production and whatnot, is so different from IPSC that anytime like you go to World Shoot, you have to adjust to IPSC rules because USPSA is that different. It's the same, but that different. So it's a weird situation. Tony was saying he still can't shoot his PCC at IPSC. I don't think my mind would be changing for IPSC. And you make up a good point, because I've just gotten to the point where I don't care about USPSA. I just gotta go out and shoot. I will keep my membership, and the sole reason I will keep my membership is if I decide to go shoot something like sectionals. Like this year, I probably will go shoot sectionals because I'm designing a stage for it, and multi-gun nationals. So basically, same thing as IPSC. If you're a level 2 or higher, you need to have your membership. So that's the only reason why I'm going to keep my USPSA membership, is because there's those biggest thing is the multi-gun nationals. But and support Adam Maxwell in what he's trying to do on the multi-gun side of USPSA and turn that whole program around. And then New Mexico sectionals. Well, like I said, if I'm designing a stage and our club's going to collectively design 2 more stages, and they've asked us to go work it, so I will be there. So I'll keep my membership in for that. But other than that, I don't really care about USPSA. I really don't. I just care about going out and shooting. And you know what? Screw my classification. I don't care. I will show up and shoot. And, yeah.
You know that you're a grandmaster in all of our hearts.
Maybe B. I wouldn't go as far as grandmaster.
Solid B.
Yeah, even that's pushing it. Maybe. Richard, I was at IPSC Ontario. I was the IPSC Ontario match director in AGM last weekend. The PCC training course is under active review for the black badge to be released spring. There will be a black badge for PCC only. If you have a PCC black badge, you can't shoot pistol, but if you have a pistol black badge, you can shoot PCC. Awesome. Yeah,
makes sense. It sounds like they're just they're moving on it, which is good.
Yeah. We'll move on from the USPSA stuff, and I was hoping Tony or not Tony, Mo was gonna be on because I'm actually curious. Type 81 trigger pack. I know that's kind of like we have AK at home, but I'm curious on that trigger pack if it shares the trigger pack of the AK, because I believe the bolt is basically from an SKS, correct?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm just completely wrong there.
No, a lot of people assume a lot of people say that the Type 81 is like an AK and an SKS had a baby, but or sorry, like the Chinese took the AK and made it into an SKS. But if you actually look at like the operating mechanisms and that kind of thing of it, not really.
Oh, okay. I'm just curious because Timney dropped an AK drop-in trigger, so I was kind of hoping it would work in the Type 81. Not that I own one, but it'd be something cool for the Canadian market, a new upgrade for the Type 81. But
yeah, because the trigger that it comes with is not bad, but it's not the best.
Yeah. But okay, that was just a point of curiosity. Other than that, that's it for me and what I did in guns.
Cool. All right, let's move on to events. Okay, we talked about that one. Edmonton Gun Shows this weekend. I'll be there. Come say hi. March 9th, Sherwood Park. It's going to be a 3-gun match. It's going to be awesome. NRL 22 just released a bunch of dates on Practice Score. So if you want to... Oh, and that's in Canada too.
Yeah, that's NRL 22 Canada. Somebody added me on Facebook, and all of a sudden I started seeing all these posts for NRL 22 matches and that. So,
yep, we got those. They're happening.
Yep.
Next on to the news. Did we talk about this one? No, I don't think we did we? Are these all new?
Well, that first one I thought was on the list last week. I don't recall if we talked about it or not. Or no,
There's a huge gun bust in Ontario.
Yeah.
279 weapons. No, we would have covered that. No, 22nd. Wait. No, we didn't cover that.
No,
because that's
the day after
the show.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, they made a big gun bust in Ontario. 279 charges, 274 illegal firearms, 168 confiscated in the U.S., 106 in Ontario. Big old smuggling operation, which is how most of the guns get here.
Yeah. Most of the illegal guns.
Yeah. Yep. Speaking of very illegal guns, there's this shooting that happened in White Rock, BC. Left a few people injured, and it was with a fully automatic rifle. So I don't know if you want to watch the video or not, but if you do, there's a video out there that kind of shows what happened. And yeah, this attack was done with full auto rifles. Not sure what kind, but they shot a lot of sparks.
I wonder how they got a hold of those.
Geez, that looks like a short barrel.
Yeah.
ER. Look how short that is on that guy there.
Well, never mind all the muzzle flash.
Yeah. Well, with a short barreled rifle,
but that is not getting a full burn.
Left 4 people injured, so they did not die.
Well, that's good.
Yet. Yeah, but 4 victims suffering serious injuries is what it says here.
Jeez.
And that was in BC. Gangsters doing gangster stuff.
Yeah.
I've met this person. It was a guy who was arrested in Edmonton for manufacturing 3D printed firearms. Roy Tucker.
He had a couple smuggled ones as well.
Just all sorts of things. If you're going to break the law, break like one. Don't break like all of them. They're eventually going to find you on one of them. Yeah, smuggling guns, selling them to gangsters, printing them. Yeah. And he got nailed by with everything.
There was there was an interesting thing in that write-up. They made the point of mentioning the firearm blueprints.
Yeah.
Like that because right behind me here, you can't see it because of the reflection, but I've had that for a long time, and it's the engineering specs for a 3-hole AR lower.
Well, that would be verboten here in Canada, I believe. Now,
I was
talking to some of the guys on Discord.
I bought it in Canada. Like, having the print for that can't be illegal. I understand, like, the STI files and that on the computer. I understand that it's illegal. I don't agree with it, but because information should not be illegal.
The guys that on the Discord were saying that the STLs aren't illegal. The G code is. And for you layman's terms, the STL is the 3D model. It's the 3D model. You could load it up and start editing it in a 3D program, whereas the G code is like instructions to the printer. Yeah. They're like, go here,
every
here.
Every step. Yeah, one step X, step. One step Y, one step Z.
Yeah.
Which, that alone, okay, the G code for that. How do you determine what that G code is for without actually printing it? Because all you're looking at is G code. I'm sure there's a program that can take the G code and render what it's actually building, but
so the key is to name your G code something innocuous.
Well,
Grandma's flower vase or something like that. Not an AR lower, grandma's flower vase.
Yeah. See, I was led to believe that it was the STL files, which would track because, well,
it wouldn't surprise me if it's ambiguous in the legislation and they're just waiting to charge someone for it.
Well, like a reason why I say it tracks is because they banned this chunk of aluminum.
Yeah, but 0% lowers got banned in Canada. So,
that 0% is literally a block of aluminum.
Yeah. Like,
this is like 80s. That's what I'm saying. The 80s, which is what I'm holding because I'm in the US for clarification. Like, that's why I was saying the STL files being illegal would track because they banned this paperweight.
STI files are for Subarus. We don't need those.
Yeah, we don't need those.
Yeah, no. I'm not sure if it's the STL or the G code. It would surprise me if the legislation was even that smart. I would bet that it's like computer code to 3D print. I bet you that's what they have in there.
Yeah.
Which has not been tested in court, and I bet that the first person to get charged is they'll try to make it apply to both.
Yeah. Well, thing is, you gotta get charged just for that. This case here, it's not going to be proven because he's got the manufactured pieces. He's got high cap mags. He's got the prohibited firearms. So I don't think it's going to get tested in this one. You got to get charged for just having that STL file.
Yeah, and well, I don't know. Like he could try to, what'll probably happen. His defense lawyer will drop that little like the file bit for this. They'll negotiate. They'll do some horse trading, right? So who knows if it'll even get tested here.
Oh, Richard's saying we just got nuked on Facebook.
Uh-oh.
And I just looked, and yeah, we got 0 watching on Facebook.
We said a bad word. Can't say the 3, then the letter that comes after C, and the GUNS.
Yeah.
Things that rhyme with fun.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. We're just talking about it being illegal. We're not even talking.
Yeah.
We went too deep.
Yeah.
The overlords, the Zuck, was displeased.
He was actually watching tonight.
Yeah, I guess. Neat. I think that's the first time we've had a video stream nuked on Facebook.
Yeah.
We'll have to check later to see if we got a strike. Let's go into another bit of news and see if we can get YouTube nuked. This next one here, more Canadian than hockey. Canadian gun licenses hit record high. Do you want to talk about this one, Kyle?
Yeah, so I was checking, it's basically a site that's just pulling news from the States, and they had this one in, and basically in 2023, there were 87,000, almost 88,000 PALs issued. So say basically it's the largest annual advance since at least 2003. So
that's very good news.
Yeah, and they say more Canadian adults have a firearms license than play hockey.
Yep. You know what? I think I'm the first person that made that comparison.
Yeah,
I made that comparison in an article from about 7 or something like that years ago, and I was trying to figure out which.
Facebook is still on, but the comments were disabled. Weird.
Okay. Yeah, I think I made that. I think I was the first person to make that comparison because I was looking at different activities, like different sports, and I looked at golf and I looked at I tried to find the one that had like for sure how many people like participate in this hobby, and yeah, I had that on an article from way back in the day. Anywho, yeah,
but
lots of people have guns.
It was just a bit of good news amongst everything else that hey, our numbers are growing. We're bumping those numbers up.
Yeah, the downside is that, and I crunched the numbers on this part. For our population growth, the ratio is going down. The ratio of gun owners to non-gun owners is going down, and that's just because our population is growing very quickly, right? You would need to be breaking records every year, and not only breaking records, but you would need to be growing the number of gun owners by this year 4%, but other years like 2 to 3%, like very high numbers, not just like increasing a little bit, by increasing a lot every single year. I'm trying. I'm doing my part.
Yeah, you're doing your part. So
directly.
Yeah.
Anyways, next one here. Saskatchewan joins Alberta as interviewers on the CCFR appeal. Yeah, fantastic news. And that's another thing that they need to do.
Yeah.
Let's get into new gun stuff. New gun stuff is brought to you by Bullseye North. Need a new boomstick? Bullseye North is Canada's shooting superstore and a proud supporter of the CCFR. With a wide selection of guns and top trending gear for any shooter, they have free shipping over $250. Some exclusions apply. And they have $17 flat rate shipping for orders that are below $250. Let's get to some gun stuff. What do they got? Oh, the price is even good on those.
Yeah.
How did you pronounce those again?
Gen X.
These primers? Gen X, right?
Gen X, yeah. That's how I pronounce it.
Right. I think you're right. So I've been pronouncing these like Gynex, but Gen X. Yeah, that sounds way better. Maybe that's what it is. Anyways, small pistol primers. Bullseye North has them. $92.99 per thousand for small pistols. So if you're reloading for 9mm or whatever, I run this stuff. They're fine. They crunch a little bit hard, but who cares?
Says they have 147 available. So
147,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
147 packs of 1,000, I guess.
1,000. Yeah. Yeah. They got a bunch.
Yeah.
They got a whole bunch. You wouldn't want to drop that crate, that pallet.
No.
I think I opened some of these, and I think I didn't open some of these. Next one we got here is the Christensen Arms Modern Precision Rimfire. Ooh. It's a 6.2 pound bolt action rimfire, $12.49 MSRP, sub MOA guaranteed at 50 yards, which would put it at less than half an inch consistently. And
that's a nice looking rifle.
It does look pretty sharp. Yep, it's got an AR grip on it. It's got looks like a folding adjustable stock. Kick out. Those look like BX mags, don't they? I wonder if those are Ruger BX mags. Yeah, I can vaguely make out Ruger on there. That looks like a Ruger BX mag. Carbon fiber forend, carbon fiber wrapped barrel. All the goodies. $12.49. Sub MOA guarantee. I think that's the first time I've seen a sub MOA guarantee on a rimfire. It's actually very difficult to do. There's a thread on CGN where in the rimfire section, where if you believe you have a half-inch capable gun at 50 yards, put 5 groups of 5 on one piece of paper that are under half an inch. It's actually pretty hard to do.
I can imagine so. Yeah.
You let one flyer go, or your gun. Sometimes it just lets them go. Sometimes a little bit off.
Yeah.
And there are very few semi-automatics on there. Very few. There's a lot of CZs on there. A lot of custom guns. And seeing as this is guaranteed, maybe this one would show up on there. Anyways, pretty cool. SFRC has the. Oh, no. They don't anymore.
Beginning of the show they had them, but I guess not now.
They went quick. They had
let's see if I can refresh the page here.
They had the Lockhart Raven 223 Gold. They had 2 of them. They don't anymore.
Yeah.
They're gone.
It was $1,800. Didn't seem too bad. But then again, I haven't seen anybody put out a... Does anyone actually put like a few thousand rounds through one and put out a review on it?
Not a few thousand.
No.
I know some people who've put... Taylor has probably for his 9mm, but not the 223 version. I don't believe the 223 version's got a lot of play on it. And he was saying also for the 223 version to build your own, like get the upper and lower kit and then just, slap your AR stuff on there.
Right.
Curious, very curious. Another thing I'm curious about is Calgary Shooting Center. They have some new cool tandem cross stuff online. Go fast parts for your 1022, that kind of thing. They have mag releases. They have some bits and bobs for the Manticore X. They have a trigger assembly that's $390. More mag releases, more 1022 lowers, guide rod for Ruger Mark series, Steam Demon compensator for 22 LR. What is this? Something weird. Some stuff for Ruger Mark IVs. Oh man, they got a bunch of pages for this. I wonder if they have some. I think Tandem Cross makes some stuff for the 1911 22, the GSG. I'm curious if they got that one. 3-pouch rotary mag holder for Ruger 1022. Gonna be $109, Cat. at the Edmonton Gun Show. I'm gonna be selling 3D printed 1022 mag holders. They're not $109, or my kid is rather. Holy crap! I'm gonna screenshot that and send it to my kid. He's gonna want to charge more.
Yeah.
Accelerator pedals, fiber optic sights, chassis for the Ruger PC carbine. All those are cool.
Oh yeah.
Buddy mine's got those. Panel grips, Kraken, bolt stop. Spring guide for the Smith & Wesson 22 Victory. I don't even know how many of those we have in Canada. Can't imagine we have very many. They were pretty new when the handgun ban came in. Disconnector, Eagle Eye for the Williams fire sight. A 6-pouch rotary mag holder. Huh.
And it's like $24 more.
Well, that's
double
the one you want.
Yeah, for double the mag pouches.
Or you go to the gun show and you get one off of
You're going to put your printer in overdrive over the next couple days.
Well, so we've made an agreement, me and my son. If we sell like all of our stuff, we're taking all that money and we're reinvesting into a Bamboo Labs printer, just so we can get something that's a lot faster, right?
Right.
Oh, cool. A bolt tube sleeve for the Kel-Tec Sub 2000. Those are nice. Keeps your beard from getting yanked out by that charging handle. Browning Buckmark, Ruger 1022, Ruger PC carbine. Oh, they got a trigger for that? Wait. Where was that? Victory trigger for Ruger PC carbine. Cool. It's like a flat face trigger.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it comes with a sear or anything like that, though, so you're not going to get reduced trigger pull with it.
Yeah, it's just the shoe itself. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks cool. Ooh, a charging ring for the Smith & Wesson 22 Victory. That looks pretty cool. Too bad I don't have one. Bolt release plate. Well, that's really cheap, too. A $16 bolt release plate. Ruger 1022 game compensator. No 1911-22 stuff. Oh well. Next up, Rangeview said that they have some stuff from Anarchy Outdoors Canada. I'm like, I have no idea what those people are. And then I looked it up, and it's some neat stuff. So it looks like they make some custom parts for like PRS shooting. So they've got like a threaded bolt handle upgrade for the Savage Axis. It allows you to change your bolt knobs on the Savage Axis. They've got Ruger Precision Rimfire bolt shroud replacements, CZ455 tactical swept bolt handles. So if you wanted to upgrade your, most of this is like 22 PRS kind of rifle stuff. They've got it. They've got some bases with bubble levels in them. So if you want like a 30 MOA base for your Tikka T1X with a bubble level, they've got that. They're not cheap, but nothing in PRS. Yeah. PRS is even more like light my money on fire than 3-gun, which is like hard to do because you got 3 guns to feed.
Yeah.
Keep care of. And one of them's not an AR. Tikka bolt stop, Tikka T3 bolt handle upgrade. Yeah, this stuff's dope. The stuff all looks custom, and it looks like it's like designed to fit, like to solve a problem with that particular firearm or to enhance that particular firearm. So I'm liking it. Yeah, very cool. I thought I had that other one open. Maybe I don't. I have this one open. SRS Tactical has the Holosun Digital Reflex Night Sight. At least they did. Now they're sold out. I want to show it on screen because it's dope looking. It's a night vision reflex.
Yeah.
Like a dot, but with night vision.
That is cool.
It's kind of bulky. It's kind of spacey looking. But man, if you
for night vision though, it's not bulky.
Not at all, yeah. And I guess like you could use this to shoot the coyotes that are presuming you're in an area where that's okay. You could use this to
agriculture
coyotes
or livestock control.
Livestock protection. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And like $1,400 for night vision.
Yeah, especially that's like built in with the dot and that kind of thing with reflex. Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. Inner Surplus has a bunch of real wacky ammo. So they bring in stuff that's like European for the European rifles we have here. But there's stuff in here that I've never seen before. 9.3 by 72R. What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
What is that? 193 grain bullet. Okay. Big stanky bullet with that thing. It's $100 for 20 rounds. I've never heard of that. I heard of like 9.3 by 57. That's your 7 by 57 Mauser. That's just necked up. I've heard of 9.3 by 60. Is it 62 or 63? That's like kind of like 30-06 length, necked up, like real stanky. 9.3 by 72. Oh, that has got some heat on it. And then 8 by 64 S. What's the S for?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm just like, screaming at the clouds at this point.
Yeah.
They got some 44 mag for pretty reasonable. 6.5 by 55 Swedish for $40 for 20 rounds. Pretty decent. A couple of other 30-30, 8mm Mauser, 6.5 by 52 as well, if you wanted to get some Carcano action in there. And then 22 Hornet.
Yeah.
They got 22 Hornet. I think you were saying earlier, like, when's the last time you've seen 22 Hornet?
Yeah.
It's been forever since I've seen it.
It's $30 for 20 rounds, but
where else are you gonna find that stuff?
Yeah. Like they do have the SMB 9mm 124 for $21 a box of 50.
I don't know how to do pricing in boxes of 50. All I know is by 1,000.
Well, I remember like buying like Blazer a few years ago for like $22 for a box of 50. Mm-hmm. So okay, so $20 for SMB for a box of 50 is pretty decent.
Yep. Bunch 30-06 in there, 30-30, 30-40 Kragos sold out, 300 Win Mag, 303 British. Okay, so they got 303 British for $40 for 20, and that's cheaper than a lot of the stuff I've seen recently.
Yeah,
like much cheaper. FMJ by PPU. Yep, yeah, that's a pretty decent price. More 303, more 303. Oh, they got a whole bunch of stuff. 44, 4.
They had some 6.5 by 55 Swede. That's what you got a rifle for that, right?
I'm reloading for that now, man. Okay. I'm beyond. I'm beyond this pleb stuff of buying it. Although $34 for a box of Carcano, not bad. 130 to 39 grain stuff. 6.5 by 52R. What the fuck is 52R? What is this?
I don't know.
What is that?
I don't know what the S or the R is.
52R? That is not a real thing. These guys are on crack. They're just making stuff up now. What? That's a real thing?
Huh.
Minimal differences. It's 25-35. It's 25-35. Okay. It's 25-35. I wonder if that's what this other stuff is like the metric equivalent of some weird cowboy action round.
Okay.
7.62 by 53 Argentine. Okay, I've heard of that one before. That's not made up. Kurtz, they have 7.92 by 33 Kurtz. Oh, it's sold out. Anyways, I'm going to stop now before I
they got a lot of weird, random, obscure ammo. 8mm Mauser.
7R. Okay, that makes sense. 8 by 64. That is not a thing. What are you talking about?
It's space ammo.
That's the S, right? Space.
The SPCE.
What? What? 8 by 64 S. Brennecke. S means it's intended for 8.2 millimeter groove diameter bullets. What the fuck are you even talking about? Customary, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Anyways,
there's a
you
rabbit
got some
hole.
Weird European stuff. Inner Surplus has probably got you covered. I'm going to stop now and move on. To our main topic. Do you want to do our main topic today, or you want to skip it and do it when Mo's here?
Mo sounded excited for it, so why don't we wait for Mo?
Let's wait for Mo. Let's skip our main topic today. We're going to talk about IPSC stuff, but Mo's probably got some gear that we've never even heard of.
Yeah, never even thought of, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I don't shoot a lot of IPSC, so I don't shoot any IPSC. All 3-gun. Emails. Are these up to date?
Yes.
Do you want to take this first one?
Sure. We just got the one, and it's the one we missed last week. But hi. Longtime listener and certainly not a first-time emailer. After a good year and half and a half away from the range, I finally begun dusting off my kit and supplies and got my butt back to the firing line for an IPSC match here in Halifax. I've even begun again to listen to the podcast. This is not what I'm writing about. One of the things I've dug out of my pile of crap is my 3D printed Sight Picture Training Aid, SPTA. It's a simple little device for demonstrating to new and not so new shooters what a proper sight picture should look like. Yes, proper and improper sight picture examples are available for on paper, but I find this is useful to demonstrate the importance of holding the front rear sight alignment as the sights wander around the target, as opposed to trying to snap a shot off at the brief moment when you momentarily have a perfect sight picture. I built this little aid to be 2 inches by 2 inches, but it can of course be printed at any scale or size. 3 colors make it easy to tell the sight picture elements apart. Anyway, I wanted to send this up to you folks in case you might find it interesting or even useful. I can print and mail a set, or a couple of sets if you like, or I can of course send the STL files if any of you want to print your own. This is not a commercial product, and I have no interest in marketing it in any way. I'd be happy if it might just be of use to new shooters and their trainers. Cheers. Fusilier.
And I will be printing those. I was actually looking through some of his other designs to see what he's got going. A couple of interesting things in there.
Yeah.
Once you have a 3D printer and once you know how to model, it's a superpower. You can do also so Japanese license plates are like the hole spacing is different than North American. And I asked my buddy about it, and he's like, I just put 1 screw in there. I'm like, oh, there's got to be a better way, though. And so I found some stuff on Amazon. I'm like, wait a minute. This is just a piece of plastic. I bet you someone's modeled this out already. Yep, someone modeled it out. Oh, my little hood pull. So yeah, I printed that. Worked great. My hood pull for my van was broken off, and I'm trying to sell it, and I don't want to look like a total redneck, grabbing onto this little cable and pulling it so my hood opens. So I printed a little hood pull. It attaches to the cable and it sits there, and it kind of looks like it's supposed to be there. You can fix all these crappy little things that are broken in your life, except relationships.
Just watching it's Fusilier.
Fusilier, yeah.
So
your version was okay too, though. Give it the old college try. Do you want to hit the YouTube comments?
I can do that, yeah. So all of these are from last week's episode 544. We have Short Stroke Armory. I think I found an issue with using gen images for thumbnails. LOL.
Maybe we pushed it a little bit too much for the last couple episodes. Maybe tonight we'll use something a little bit more tame. We'll see what
Although
Dane wants to do.
We got nuked from Facebook tonight, so maybe not.
That was just from saying verboten things.
Yeah. Next comments are from Eddie. Says, what? Kelly has no hat tonight? I think this is a first. And then,
oh my God. Just a second. I gotta share something. Fusilier, take a look at this thing he made. This man is a genius. Look at this shit. It's a collector for your
laundry detergent.
Fluid. Yeah, your laundry detergent. It holds a cup underneath so it doesn't drip down. Oh nice. My God, I'm printing that right now.
That's awesome. And yeah, just keep your cup under it, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. I have this bottle. I am doing this thing. Sorry, nice. I got distracted.
Yeah. Then says, Adriel, are you going to disable your Wrangler for your PAL courses?
No, because I would need a double action revolver also for my RPAL courses.
Right.
But if I find someone who is going to instruct with me and they have a spare double action, then yes, I will disable that Ruger Wrangler, and I will disable probably one of them Tokarevs, because
yeah. And then our last YouTube comment is also from Eddie. It says that Savage 10P SR looks interesting. An 18-inch barrel seems a bit short for 308 Win. I believe that's a Necro thread, as the original post was from March 2023, and I couldn't find any Savage 10 on iRun Guns website. As for planking,
they had them. I was looking at them while we were in the show.
Oh. As for plinking with a centerfire, I would recommend a 223. Cheaper ammo and less recoil. Yeah.
That's all true. I think like the 308 comes up when people want to shoot long range, like beyond 500, let's say. Anywhere 500 in 223 is going to be a great choice.
Russ is asking, you watch any of the trial of Hanner G on Runkle? No, unfortunately, I haven't caught any of those. I'm going to have to play catch up here at some point, or just wait for the synopsis.
Too busy doing vehicle stuff and PAL course stuff as well. Like there's quite a bit of paperwork that has to be done as part of that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Scaling up. Actually, one of the future topics I'd like to do is like scaling up PAL courses, because I feel like a lot of trainers, a lot of PAL course trainers do like 1 or 2 a year. And that's it. And it's mostly because they aren't able to scale up the demand and the delivery. So I wanted to talk about those two things on a future episode with a buddy of mine does like a pile of these things as a, loan gun kind of a thing. So I wanted to I want to talk about scaling up PAL courses.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, Tony, it is Dave. Dave's running courses every other weekend with 20-30 people. And then he's also doing in some other areas as well. So yeah, that's who I'm thinking of. And that's who I did the Calgary PAL course with as well. PAL and our PAL actually just a couple weeks ago. And he definitely has some good tips for running these things at scale, which for PAL instructors might be interesting, and for other people might be interesting just for to understand what's involved with it. Cool, thank you. All right, Discord. I didn't see any. There were some comments on Discord. If you want to engage with us, join Discord. Find us over there. What people bought from our Cabela's link. We're going to do a combo January and February at the next show. So I'll have those ready for that date. Thank you to our supporters on Patreon and Player. And if you'd like to email the show, just send us an email at slamfireradio@gmail.com. Kyle, do you got any shout-outs?
I will shout out our viewers/listeners right now, because we got dumped on Facebook, but it looks like they all moved over to YouTube to continue watching. So shout out to you guys for sticking in there.
Fantastic. I got a shout out to Damien for helping with the course that we put on Saturday. It was great, and he's a big part of that. And to all the students that came out there and crushed it. There was like a bunch of people who got like hundreds on it, and they're like, I don't know, I'm kind of nervous. 100.
Nice.
I don't know if you really should be nervous though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did pretty great.
That's the good nervous. That's when you're intelligent, you have a head on your shoulders, because
and some of the questions are like, oh, I don't know if they interpret it this way, it's this answer, and if they interpret it that way, it's this answer. I think like when you're getting to that point, you've already got your 80%.
You're looking a little deep into it at that point.
Yeah. But it went really well. Join our Discord server. So if you're looking to chat with like-minded Canadian gunnies, Discord's kind of like a live chat kind of a thing. So that's over there. Watch us on Facebook, YouTube, and Player. Join the CCFR, and we'll see you next week. Later, everyone.
Later.